I live in a modest but warm house with my family. It's a two-story home with a small garden out front, where Dad grows flowers and herbs, and where Mom hangs the laundry to dry on sunny days. It's not big or luxurious, but it's full of laughter, love, and unforgettable memories. There are 5 of us: my dad, my mom, my older sister Emma, my younger brother Lucas, and me. My dad is a high school teacher. He teaches math, which he loves very much. He's the kind of person who never gets angry easily, no matter how noisy Lucas gets or how many times I ask him to explain a math problem. He's patient, thoughtful, and wise. Every evening, he sets aside time to help me with homework, even if he's had a long day. I often hear his soft voice from the next room as he helps Lucas with simple reading exercises or teaches Emma how to calculate taxes for her art business. My mom is a nurse. She works long shifts at the hospital, but she always seems to have energy when she's at home. She wakes up early to make breakfast, prepares dinner, and still manages to ask how everyone's day went. She has a beautiful smile, and her hugs make everything feel safe. On weekends, she becomes a different person, more relaxed, more playful. She loves to bake cakes and teach Lucas how to mix ingredients, even if he ends up covered in flour. My older sister Emma is in college. She's studying fine arts and spends a lot of time painting and sketching. Her room is filled with drawings, canvases, and jars of colored pencils. Sometimes, I sneak in just to look at her newest creations. She's kind and funny, and though we argue sometimes, she always listens when I need someone to talk to. Emma is like a second mother to Lucas, who adores her and follows her around the house like a puppy. Lucas is only 6 years old, but he's the liveliest member of our family. He wakes up early, runs around the house in superhero costumes, and asks hundreds of questions a day. Even though he can be loud and sometimes naughty, we all love him. He brings joy to our home, like a little sun shining brightly. And then there's me. I'm a high school student, 17 years old, trying to balance exams, friends, and dreams. I love reading, writing, and listening to music. I'm not as outgoing as Emma or as energetic as Lucas, but I have my own quiet way of appreciating life. I love the smell of Mom's cooking, the sound of Dad typing lesson plans, and the way our house feels warm even on rainy days. Sunday is my favorite day of the week. It's the only day when all of us are home together, free from school, work, and deadlines. That particular Sunday, the one I will never forget, started out like any other, but became something truly special. I woke up to the sound of birds chirping outside my window. The sun was streaming in through the curtains, and there was a soft breeze coming through the open window. I stretched and got out of bed, already smiling. Downstairs, Mom was in the kitchen. The smell of pancakes and eggs filled the air. She was humming a song while flipping pancakes on the stove. Dad was outside watering the plants, and I could see Lucas chasing butterflies in the garden. Emma was just waking up, yawning and tying her hair into a bun. "Good morning." Mom greeted us cheerfully. "Breakfast is almost ready." We all gathered at the table and enjoyed a warm, delicious meal together. It was simple, just pancakes, eggs, fresh fruit, and tea, but it felt like a feast because we were all together. We laughed as Lucas accidentally dropped a blueberry into his milk, and Emma showed us a silly cartoon she had drawn the night before. After breakfast, Dad had an idea. "Let's visit Grandma today," he said. "It's been a while, and I'm sure she'd love to see us." We all agreed. Grandma lives about 30 minutes away by car, in a peaceful village surrounded by rice fields and fruit trees. She's 80 years old but still strong and cheerful. Every time we visit, she gives us tight hugs, tells funny stories, and feeds us her famous banana cake. We packed some fruits and snacks for the trip. Emma brought her sketchbook, I brought my journal, and Lucas packed his toy dinosaurs. The car ride was full of singing and laughter. We took turns picking songs, and even Dad joined in. By the time we arrived, the sky was blue, and the air smelled like grass and sunshine. Grandma was waiting at the gate with her usual big smile. "There you are, my little angels," she exclaimed, giving each of us a warm hug. We helped her with some chores, sweeping the porch, picking vegetables from the garden, and folding laundry. Then we sat together under the shade of a big mango tree and drank tea while listening to her stories. She told us about her childhood during the war, about how she met Grandpa, and about raising our dad with almost nothing but love and determination. Then, suddenly, the weather changed. The sky darkened, and within minutes, it began to pour. We hadn't brought any umbrellas or jackets, and there was no way we could leave in the storm. At first, we were a little disappointed. The rain ruined our plan to explore the village or visit the river nearby. But then Grandma disappeared into a closet and returned with a stack of old board games and puzzles. "Let's have some fun indoors," she said with a wink. We played board games for hours, snakes and ladders, Monopoly, even a dusty old memory game Grandma had made herself years ago. We laughed so hard when Dad lost again and again, and even Lucas, who usually got bored easily, stayed focused and serious about winning. Mom made hot tea and fried sweet potato cakes. Emma drew funny cartoons of each family member. Grandma told more stories, and I wrote some of them down in my journal because I didn't want to forget a single detail. As the rain tapped on the roof like a rhythm, the world outside seemed muted and gray, but the world inside was full of laughter, warmth, and color. When the storm finally calmed down, Grandma lit a small fire outside in her covered porch. Together, she and Mom grilled sweet corn and purple yams. The scent was mouth-watering, and we all sat on little stools under the porch roof, eating and talking as the last drops of rain fell on the garden leaves. That evening, Grandma handed me a small leather notebook that had belonged to my late grandfather. "He used to write poems in here," she said. "Now it's yours." I opened it and saw careful, faded handwriting. One line stood out: "Family is the place where even rain becomes music." On the drive home, we were quiet. The kind of quiet that feels full, not empty. Lucas was asleep. Emma was sketching something new. I was staring out the window, holding the notebook close. Back home, I put it on my desk next to my own journal. That Sunday had turned out so differently from what we expected. And somehow, that made it even better. It had no phones, no screens, no distractions. Just us. Over the next few days, things felt different. We stayed longer at the dinner table. Dad started telling more stories. Emma showed us her drawings before she even finished them. Even Lucas started saying thank you more often. I printed out Emma's sketch of us sitting around Grandma's candlelit table and framed it on my desk. That sketch, that notebook, and that rainy Sunday reminded me of something I will carry for the rest of my life. You don't need sunshine to feel warm, you don't need perfect plans to make perfect memories, you don't need big moments to feel something real. You just need your family. And now, if someone asks me what day shaped me the most, I won't talk about awards or achievements. I'll tell them about the Sunday with rain, corn, stories, and a notebook full of poems, because my family is, and always will be, my greatest treasure.